Future of Pak-US ties. Cameron Youssef. The writer is a senior foreign affairs correspondent at the Express Tribune. At a recent briefing, the Foreign Office spokesperson acknowledged that the change of government brought a positive shift in Pakistan's relations with major powers and other countries. I think it is very evident that there is a positive, forward movement, there is improvement and further strengthening of bilateral relations and cooperation with a host of countries. That is evident from the series of interactions, the various visits and meetings that are taking place, the intense diplomacy that you have observed in the last couple of months, the spokesperson replied when asked if the dismissal of Imran Khan government had had any impact on Pakistan's relations with the outside world. One major development on the foreign policy front is the increased interaction between Pakistan and the US at all levels. Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif held a brief informal interaction with President Joe Biden on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly session in New York, and Foreign Minister Bilawal Bhutto and Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa had back-to-back trips to Washington. This was in stark contrast to the state of ties between the two countries during the PTI government. The relations were so low that President Biden didn't even bother to make a customary telephone call to the former PM Imran Khan. But despite the visible improvement or at least greater interaction between the two sides, the question remains, what's the future of Pakistan-US relations? Pakistan remained the most allied ally of the US. In return for offering its geostrategic locations to the US for advancing its interests in the region, Pakistan was the beneficiary of American assistance, both financial and defense. The military hardware and F-16 fighter jets provided by the U.S. continue to help Pakistan keep its many times bigger adversary at bay. February 27, 2019 dogfight between the air forces of Pakistan and India clearly illustrated how F-16 fighter jets were central to Pakistan's defenses. But with the rapid rise of China at the turn of the 21st century, the U.S. is increasingly turning to India. The relations between India and the U.S. have grown immensely in all fields, and New Delhi is a beneficiary of the latest military and defense equipment of the U.S. The idea behind propping up India as a major regional power is to counter China. In this scenario, many American commentators and retired diplomats have concluded that Pakistan figures nowhere in the U.S. scheme in the long run. The role of Pakistan is further undermined since the withdrawal of U.S. forces from the neighboring Afghanistan. But despite these developments, there seems eagerness on the part of the U.S. to maintain a working relationship with Pakistan. The Biden administration's move to approve $450 million for F-16 maintenance is evidence of that. India opposed the decision tooth and nail. The U.S., however, brushed aside New Delhi's concerns, insisting that it will maintain a mutually beneficial relationship with Pakistan. The U.S. officials emphasized that the F-16 package would help Pakistan's counterterrorism prowess. Counterterrorism and Afghanistan is one area where the U.S. and Pakistan need each other's support. The U.S. does not want to see Afghanistan once again become a sanctuary for transnational terrorist outfits. Pakistan too is seeking durable peace in the war-torn country. The U.S. needs intelligence cooperation from Pakistan to keep an eye on all these groups, while Islamabad may need Washington's assistance to tackle these outfits if they regrouped. There are also ample opportunities in the field of trade and investment provided Pakistan creates the right type of policies and environment. Given Pakistan's economic challenges, the U.S. support is also crucial for any financial assistance from international institutions controlled by Washington. For various reasons, both sides will not seek divorce. Published on October 10, 2022. Editorial. Terror Threat. By Editorial Board. A surge in terrorist activities by the outlawed Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan (TTP) has prompted senators and the people of SWAT to sound alarm. The Senate witnessed a heated debate when senators from both sides of the aisle expressed their concerns over recent developments in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, especially in SWAT and its adjoining areas. Senators have demanded a briefing over a recent threat alert that the Interior Ministry issued about heightened risk of terrorist attacks by the banned outfit. Since the activities of the Taliban have attracted much attention during the past couple of months, it has become a point of public concern that the government and state institutions must address at once. There is an immediate need for the Interior Ministry to take Parliament into confidence. People in SWAT have also carried out protests this week to demand the elimination of anti-peace and anti-state elements from SWAT district, warning that if the state does not take action, the residents of SWAT will take up arms. That the people of SWAT, who have borne the brunt of Taliban rule and fought bravely against them, have to come out on the streets and demand that the state protect them should be a moment of shame for the government and state whose responsibility it is to protect its citizens. This is a serious matter that has troubled Pakistan for over 2 decades now. Such issues call for a need to take Parliament on board, and no talks with the banned outfit should have begun without an explicit consent from Parliament. The disclosure about dialogue with the TTP had come as a surprise. The speed with which the TTP, the Islamic State Khorasan and associated militant groups are now gaining territory as well as the means to conduct targeted attacks against the security forces and civilians is alarming. Pakistan fought a long and hard battle for over a decade to rid our soil of terrorist groups. But after the Afghan Taliban's rise in the neighborhood, these groups have had their power restored to a large extent. On Saturday, Army Chief General Qamar Javed Bajwa stressed the need for regional peace. However, he said that our desire for peace must not be construed as our weakness. The Army Chief's words should serve as a warning to all militant groups that are threatening the country's hard-earned peace. We hope that the rise of the Taliban in Afghanistan will not mean the rise of the TTP in Pakistan. As a democratic country that has fought valiantly against terrorism and sacrificed more than 80,000 lives, we deserve peace and security. How long will we expect our people to lay down their lives in this fight against terrorism? When a large number of SWAT demanding the government to take decisive action against militant elements in the valley, the government should take it pretty seriously. Published on October 10, at bay. In the position of being unable to move closer while attacking or trying to approach someone. Used with keep or hold, the soldiers kept the attackers at bay. Often used figuratively, the doctors have been able to